Today, I want to share with you the top 5 things I took with me on my trip to Europe last summer. I was in Europe for 2 weeks, and these are the things that I'm really glad that I thought to pack and bring with me. So stay tuned to find out what they are and how they might benefit you as well. Hi everyone, I'm Sheryl from Girl vs. Planet, where I'm always exploring the world through books, travel, and tech. If you're new here, make sure you click that subscribe button. And also, remember, you can find the links for everything I'm going to talk about here today in the description box below. So let's get into it. So these are the top 5 things that I took with me when I went to Europe last summer. I went with my husband to some places in Spain, France, Andorra, Portugal, and Morocco. And one of my top 5 things was this little thing. This is an Apple AirTag. It's very small. The way it works is it has a little battery in it, and it communicates via Bluetooth and via the cell phone system. Cell phone towers ping off of it, and you can attach it to anything you want. So like I attached mine to my luggage. I kind of hid it behind the little, zipper section in my luggage, and I was able to track it with an app on my phone. If you have an iPhone, this is the same app that is the Find My Phone app. So it's got like Find My Items. So you can track all of your AirTags if you have several of them. I actually have like 4 of them, I think. I have this one that I put on my luggage whenever I'm traveling. I also have one in my purse, on my keys, and even one on my dog's collar so that when he's out and about, if he ever gets lost, I know where I can find him. So this was very handy. Came in handy while I was traveling because we had a lot of different flights. I think we had like 5 different flights the whole trip. And so we checked our luggage almost every time. And this way I always knew that my luggage was nearby. If I ever lost it, I knew exactly where it was because it had this AirTag on it and I could track it with the app on my phone. All right, so let's get into item number 4. Item number 4 is actually a couple of different things, but to me, they just go together. So I kind of lump them into one. Now, when you're traveling, it is great to have a camera with you. And I mean, I know nowadays a lot of people just use their phone, but I'm trying to do more YouTube videos and I kind of like gadgets and new cameras anyway. So there's a couple of new cameras that I checked out recently and I took both of them with me on this trip. And I found both of them just completely awesome to use. So I'm gonna share those with you. So these are both Insta360 cameras. This is not sponsored in any way. I purchased both of these myself just because I liked them. So this is the Insta360 Go 3. And this is about the size of a GoPro. And it's got a little screen on the back that you can flip up. So kind of like a selfie mode. And then the other cool thing about this is that this piece right here is the actual camera and it comes off. This back part is magnetic and it comes with a little clip that you can wear on a cord around your neck. So hands-free recording, which was cool. I was able to walk through the markets in Morocco wearing this and just capture some great footage. So loved having this. This was awesome just to take with me everywhere. The other Insta360 camera that I have is the Insta360 X3. So this is a 360 camera, which what that means is you can see there's 2 lenses, one on the front and the back, and they're rounded. So they capture everything around them, literally 360 degrees. So this, put on a selfie stick, you can extend it way up in the air and just capture everything. Get some great shots of yourself and everything around you. And it's perfect for recording videos and then going back to edit later. Now, both of these cameras use the same Insta360 app. So all of your footage is easy to offload from the camera, put it into the app on your phone, and you can just edit it later. It was great, which was really handy to do while I was just traveling all over the place and busy with other things. So really glad that I have both of these cameras. Definitely gonna be using them to capture some YouTube footage for you guys in the future. Okay, moving on to item number 3. So item number 3 is compression bags. This may or may not be something that you use. This is kind of something I hadn't even really thought of until maybe a couple of years ago. Now there are two different kinds of compression bags that I took with me on this trip. This is the first kind. This is the smallest one I have. It is basically just a zippered pouch, but it has this mesh panel in the front. So once you put stuff in, you can kind of press down on it and get all of the air out of it so that you can squeeze it into your suitcase. These were great just to have things separated so that it's easy to pack and repack, because you've just kind of got everything in these little pouches in your suitcase. So it made it a lot more handy to pack and unpack all the time, which we did have to do because we stayed in several different cities and several different hotels. So this is another kind of compression bag that I've used. This is the second one. So this one doesn't have a mesh panel, but what it does have is, if you unzip it, so it's got two separate zippers. So one is to put things into it. So once you do that, you fill it maybe 2/3 of the way full. And then it's got this second zipper that zips closed to press down and press all of the air out of the bag and make it smaller so it fits better into your suitcase. Now, taking only a carry-on with us for 2 weeks in Europe, these compression bags were just great. They were definitely a must-have on this trip, and I'm really glad I thought to use them. All right, we're down to item number 2. Again, this is actually two separate things, but to me they kind of go hand in hand because I always have to take both of them with me when I travel. So these two things are my iPad and my Kindle. Now this is an iPad mini 6. So this is the smallest iPad, so awesome for taking with you for traveling because you can download movies and TV shows on it and watch them offline while you are on the plane. And it's the perfect size to have in front of you. It's bigger usually than the screens in front of you on the seat back, if they have them. Nowadays, some places don't even have them because they want you to watch things on your iPad or iPhone. But it is definitely bigger than an iPhone, so it's kind of a happy medium. It's just the right size to take with you and watch on the plane. And also, I don't tend to take my laptop on trips with me, so having the iPad with me helps serve as my computer while I'm on these trips. And it's great using for maps and for finding things to do and figuring out how to get around, and just all around necessity for me. And then this is my Kindle. I am a major book reader. I read a lot. I read 100 books last year. Most of them were on my Kindle. And this little guy, this is the Kindle Basic 11. And this is the cheapest one you can get and also the smallest Kindle. But it does have a backlight so you can read it at night. And it's just easy to fit even into your day pack. I think I took that around with me during the day and I would read in downtimes, like standing in line. You never know what you're gonna be doing, so it's nice to have that with you. And the battery on it lasts a really long time, so it's perfect for just throwing in your bag and not having to worry about charging it again for a while. All right, before I get to my number one thing, I do want to encourage you to stick around to the end of this video and I will show you one more essential that I think is absolutely necessary for almost any trip that you go on that I'm glad that I took with me. So stick around for that. And also make sure that you comment down below in the comments and let me know what your essentials are for traveling. What are the top 5 things that you can't go without when you're traveling to Europe or just on any kind of trip anywhere? Let me know. All right, so here it is. My number one thing that I'm really glad that I took with me on my trip last summer to Europe. This is my everyday bag that I carried around with me everywhere. This is a Baggu, I think, medium crescent bag. This little guy was perfect because I don't like to take kind of my small everyday bag with me on the plane. I like to take another bag and pack it inside of a backpack so that I can fit, you know, my iPad and my headphones and stuff like that in a backpack, and it's easier to carry through the airport. But then I like to have a smaller bag that I can use later, pretty much daily on my trips, just kind of the go everywhere bag with all my things in it. So this bag was perfect for that. It is not too big, not too small. It is water resistant, so I don't have to worry about it getting wet or anything inside of it getting wet. And it folds up really small, so you can easily just throw it into your suitcase or your backpack and then use it later on your trip. But it's very roomy and it's a crossbody bag, so pretty much hands-free, which is what I prefer. And This guy was just awesome. Like probably the best bag I think that has been my everyday bag on any of my trips. So I'm really glad that I have this with me. All right, thank you guys for watching this far. Like I said, I have one more item that I think is pretty much essential for any trip that you go on. You're always going to need it. So let me talk about that now. So the number one thing that I think you need on any trip is always comfortable shoes. Now, I have two pairs here that I'm gonna talk about. These were both relatively new to me before this trip, so I didn't have a lot of time to break them in, and they worked just fine even without having to do that. So these are the sneakers that I took with me. These are Allbirds. They're very light, very comfy. If you order them online, they will let you try them out and return them easily if you need a different size. But these were just great for walking through airports all day long, just kept my feet from hurting so bad, and I'm really glad that I got these for the trip, and I will definitely take these on other trips with me in the future. Now, when we were in Europe, it was really hot and humid. It was in July, and I was just hot all the time. So I live in the desert, so I'm used to it, but I'm not used to the humidity. But I am pretty much a sandals girl. I hate wearing socks, so if it's hot outside, I am always wearing sandals. Now, a lot of times I just wear like flip-flops or Birkenstocks, but I needed something a bit more comfortable and substantial while traveling. So I got these. These are kind of a like Teva-like sandal, but they're not Tevas. They are the brand Camper. And these are recommended by a lady that I watched on TikTok. I got these on Amazon. They are, I think they're actually better looking than Tevas in my opinion. They went with dresses when I wore dresses or shorts or pants or whatever. And they are waterproof, so they can get wet. You can walk into the ocean with them and it's gonna be fine. But these were so comfortable. I wore these almost every day. I wore these more than the Allbirds because I was hot all the time. But these were really awesome, and I'm really glad I found these and took these on this trip. All right, well, that's it for my top travel essentials. So thank you for watching. And if you are interested in more travel tips, maybe check out these videos over here. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video.